Welcome, beautiful soul. It's time to remember who we are. You were born for this moment, this breath. Nature teaches us and reminds us that whatever it is that we are searching for, that whatever our hearts and souls are longing for, we must know our unlimited power and worth. It's all already within us. So thank you for saying yes to this moment. Thank you for saying yes to this journey. And most of all, thank you for saying yes to yourself. Welcome, beautiful soul. Welcome, beautiful soul. I am so grateful that you have carved out time and space to be with us today. It's a beautiful topic, and I believe an important one. I'm going to let you know we're going deeper today. We're talking about healing the me so that we can heal the we. Why is healing the me really healing the we? And if this doesn't make sense yet, just hang with me. First, I ask you if you're able to safely close your eyes to join me for our time to reconnect with our center, to reconnect with ourselves, and simply breathe. So go ahead if you're able to safely do so. Close your eyes. And I'd like for you to notice your inhale and your exhale. There's no need to change it. Simply notice it. We're putting our attention on the air moving through our nostrils in and the air exiting our nostrils as we exhale out. And this is our time to give thanks to ourselves for being here, for choosing to be here, choosing to nourish ourselves, do something that uplifts us. Grateful for coming together in this lovely sacred space where we pause all of the thoughts that tell us what we should be doing and what's awaiting us on a to-do list. And we breathe to remember that it's essential for us to care and be gentle to our hearts, to our spirit, to our soul. This is also our time to give thanks for the lovely breath of life that's moving through us. This lovely breath of life that connects us to all of life. We are grateful. Notice if you're able to move your shoulders further away from your ears, relaxing, letting go of any tension that we've absorbed. This is our time to tune in to the message that our inner heart has for us. It's our time to let go of the stress, any frustration, doubt, and fear that's been occupying too much real estate within us. We're reconnecting to our power and letting all that is no longer needed simply go. And I like to add the intention that all of what's no longer needed, may it be recycled beautifully into lovely light energy. And may all that we have need of fill us and replenish us and remind us that we are already perfect and whole and complete, no matter what's happening around us. Your true essence is already and always perfect, whole, complete. And now we're going to do our 5-5-5 breath. It's really simple. We simply inhale together for a count of 5 seconds. We hold that breath for 5 seconds. And then together we exhale for 5 seconds. So let's go ahead and do a nice deep inhale. And hold it. And slowly let go. Keeping your eyes closed for just a few moments more, we're putting our attention to that beautiful inner sacred place of our true essence, our true inner heart. Letting ourselves know that we are deserving and ready for the truth that is already awaiting us within us. And so now when you're ready, you can slowly come back and open your eyes. Ooh, I always say so delicious, amazing, nourishing, that breath. And we often overlook it. Your mind will consistently tell you there's not enough time for it, that it won't change anything. And I'm here to remind you that it's always the easiest, most available tool that we have to instantly bring us back to what really matters. There's so much that we see in this sensory world, that we hear in this sensory world, that can distract us and have us feeling so discouraged and out of sorts with ourselves and out of sorts with one another. Way back when, and I marvel that I even did this, but yes, I used to be a news anchor on television, a reporter, and I can barely watch the news today. I can barely read the news headlines today. Why? Because it's a cycle that tries to create as the pervasive and most expansive message that we should all be frightened and scared, that we need to protect ourselves, that we need to be in survivor mode, that there's just too much despair happening around us. And so I intentionally pause, and I'm really selective of the amount of time that I spend letting that outer message occupy space within. Why? Because if I let too much of it in, it's so easy to be tempted to forget who has the real power. It's so easy to be swayed back into this idea that life is happening to me, instead of remembering that we are co-creators. I already warned you that this is a message for those of you who are ready to dive deep. We're talking about spiritual principles here. So in the natural world, when we walk out the door, yes, we may go to a job. When we come home, we may have family all around us, and there are needs that need to be taken care of. And when we slow it down, when we close our eyes and breathe, there's that pause that allows us to catch a glimpse of a truth that can't be quantified or held in our hands or measured. And it's the most important truth that we easily can forget about. We can leave it on the shelf. We can be so consumed with all that seems to be happening to us and around us that we forget that everything, and I do mean everything, that we truly desire for this planet, for this universe, multiverse, for ourselves, lives where? Within us. Now, for those of you who have that analytical perception, and many of us have been trained in that, I like to make the analogy that there's a linear cause and effect, a linear like algebraic equations that often can work in the natural for life. If this, then that. A plus B can equal C. And I'm here to tell you that there is also available to us so much more. And all it takes is for us to pause and suspend this natural mind that tries to grasp and grab a hold of what it has already seen, which is pretty limited, and it forgets because it's not capable, without a lot of help and training and practice, to see what has not been revealed yet. Now, sometimes we catch a glimpse of that. Have you ever felt like, I need to reach out to so-and-so, and before you know it, they either call you or you see their name pop up on an email or a text, and you say, what a coincidence. My question to you is it? Is it a coincidence? Or is there larger purpose always happening? And it requires for us to come to a dimension that's a little bit higher, raising our vibration, our frequency. What do I mean by that? I mean, it means letting go of the energy that wants to keep us complaining and judging, angry, upset, fearful. Now that's the big one, fearful, because fear is underneath all of that. And there is a reason why fear sells. Think about it. We are so designed to want to protect ourselves that we're going to tune in to a message of fear because our mind is saying, I need to know this so that I can stay protected, so I don't get hurt, so I can protect my loved ones. And I'm here to tell you, when we raise our vibration and pause that fear, we can remember that in truth, our answers are within us. They're already within us. They're right here. And yet, and still, and also, we all have a story called hurt and abuse and trauma that is first person. Why? You know, when I go on my walks, I often contemplate how long humanity has resided on this planet. One planet, Earth, within this solar system, within this Milky Way galaxy, we're one planet, and we have occupied as humanity a considerable amount of time here. And within that considerable amount of time, if we had to give us a grade, A, B, C, D, F, I always wondered why they skipped E, but anyway, A, B, C, D, F. If we had to give ourselves a grade, would we say as humanity, wow, we deserve an A? We're so kind to one another, consistently, collectively, widespread. That the pervasive message is always one of joy and hope and abundance and well-being. That we embrace our differences and we treat each other with so much compassion and gentleness. We're patient with one another. It almost sounds like I'm talking about a fairy tale. Because when I look at humanity, I see, yes, that exists, and also we have created wars, death, massive violence, oppression. We judge, prejudge, stereotype. We name call. We backbite. Why? Because there's so much healing that is still needed. And without healing, all of our other solutions are like Band-Aids. It may work for a little bit, but when the wound is so deep and has persisted for so long, Band-Aids are not sufficient. And there's a healing that's needed. And can I tell you that healing is beautiful, sometimes uncomfortable, sometimes painful, sometimes messy, sometimes prolonged, and sometimes instantaneous. It's a little bit of everything. There's not a one size fits all. There is one common denominator for the healing that this planet is calling out for. And when you look into the mirror, you'll see it. I may not have a Harry Potter magic wand to just wave and cause all of us to begin to see what is the truth, and that is that we are all connected, all of life, from the plants to the trees and animals to one another. We are all connected. And we know this at a deep level, and yet we've been conditioned to believe, I need to protect myself from you because you might hurt me, that I can't trust you, and I better live my life with a lot of suspicion and skepticism. And also, I hope that each of you listening has an abundant amount of stories that prove that is not the majority. The majority of what exists, and this is what I even know from my news days, is that there are files upon files of news stories that were so beautiful and inspiring and positive that don't make the light of day, let alone a newscast. Because when you really slow it down, most people want peace and harmony. And there's goodness within us. When there's not, it's because there's a cry out for us to be healed. And I said, when we look into the mirror, we can see where that healing needs to begin, and it's within us. So when I want to change the world, so many of our spiritual mothers and fathers, ancient philosophers have told us that if you want to change the world, you change yourself. And I'm saying the same thing too. For the healing that this planet needs, to heal the we, the collective we, us as humanity, I heal me. I heal the part right in here, within my own heart, that may have a wall up, that's a little scared and timid to open itself once again. It says trust feels like walking out naked in a snowstorm, and I'm not up to it. And life is just like that, so counterintuitive, that in order to have love, there's vulnerability. In order to have healing, there's courage to face the very things that I want to run away from. And when we are gentle with ourselves, and we give ourselves the grace and the tenderness that we each deserve, we can look into any dark corner and crevice within our own heart and life and say that there's nothing that cannot be healed or forgiven. Now, healing and forgiveness work hand in hand. Forgiving ourselves for what we did not know, for what we did not want to know, for what we refused to know, for what we were too scared to want to know. We are extraordinarily powerful, and we've used our power often in a direction out of fear, thinking we need to protect ourselves, only to cause more harm, more reverberation of division and hurt and abuse. And that cycle has continued. And it's gained a considerable amount of steam. And love is still prevailing. And love is who we are, and it's our way home for the healing that we each deserve. Because here it is again, this deep message. I'm in the journey and process of healing, and yet, and still, and always, our true essence is that we are already healed. How can that be? That I'm on the journey, on the path of healing, and yet my inner essence, my true inner essence, is already healed. All that means is that we're coming home to what already is. Presence with the capital P is not based on a time continuum. Presence with the capital P means the now. And the now is connected to a perception, to a paradigm, to a belief that I can be reconnected in any moment with the truth that I am one with all and experience that oneness bringing me back to wholeness. It's a choice, and it's also a practice. Because while we're together here in this moment, there's an ease and a collective yes that even if my head can't quite understand it, my heart and spirit know, yes, this is who I really am. Gentleness, kindness, peace, compassion, grace, humility, strength, love. And I practice coming home to me. That is healing. I practice knowing that I don't need to go out and find a new me. I simply need to let the real me emerge and come through. I need to begin to listen to the voice that lets me know all is well, and more well than can be imagined. That yes, you are not the drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop. I didn't make those up. I certainly quote them. First one, Adyashanti. Second one, Rumi. Yes, there is far more than what our natural mind could ever quantify and understand. That's the algebra. Now, when you get into, I don't know if it'd be differential equations or calculate, expressions, the higher math that doesn't even make sense, that there's not enough chalkboard or paper to figure out. That's who we are. So dynamic, constantly changing, multifaceted, like a living kaleidoscope that's constantly being shaken up and showing new facets and colors that we can't even name. That's who we are. And we sometimes want to live so small and so low to the ground, metaphorically, that all that we can connect to is fear. Fear to how will I get through the next moment? Will I make it through the next moment? It's also understandable. So we're compassionate with ourselves, knowing we were taught and we have been the product of so many generations before us who've given us where we are today. And each of us has an opportunity to help the humanity coming after us come back to a consciousness that says, yes, there is a way for us to have sustained collective peace. And it starts with me healing the division that I was fed. That said, because someone looks different than me, talks differently than me, eats something differently than me, believes something differently than me, that they are less than. That is a lie. And we start eating a lie, guess what? We start believing that lie, and all it does is corrode and erode our essence of oneness. Aren't you ready to come back to that? Each choice towards healing that you make for you, that I make for me, adds to the healing of the we. How? I don't have an answer for the how, except it just is. It's one of those spiritual mysteries that when each of us chooses to simply smile and make space for that glimmer of hope I talked about before, chooses to make space to believe there's more to me than just this physical vessel that I'm occupying, that we are so much more powerful than what we've been told. And when I simply smile and choose to spread kindness, starting with kindness from me to me, I add to the kindness for us all. I add to the healing for us all. Do you believe we could use more healing on this planet collectively? Well, it starts with us choosing healing for ourselves. You deserve it. We deserve it. And it's time. Why not now? Now is the most powerful moment. Not later, not last week, not next month, right now. How can I make space for kindness? How about I simply breathe and I begin to listen to the still quiet voice within me, the still quiet knowing within me that connects me to the all and the more, that it begins to erode the illusion of separation. That's what we're really being healed of. The lie of separation. We've consumed that lie for a long time. For a long time. And it's always right there ready for us to eat some more. Go ahead and believe again that you're separate from other humans, spirits on this planet. We're all energy. And we're having a shared experience here. And we are collectively leaving a gift for each of us to enjoy today. And we're leaving a gift that will have a residual reverberation even when we're no longer in our own physical bodies. What's the gift that you want to experience? What's the gift that you want to leave? Do you care about leaving a beautiful gift for those coming after us? Do you believe you're worthy of the gift now? And that gift is healing. Healing the skepticism, the anger, the fear, the regret that tries to eat away from the truth of who you are, that tries to cover up the gold of who you really are, that tries to help you forget that you are in truth a diamond and not a marble. And we are that collectively. And I believe that as we imagine it, we're co-creating it. And so on a micro level, I heal me within here. On a macro level, every time I do, I'm adding to the healing of us all. It's time for us to choose with consciousness. Are we going to keep waiting for the A plus B equals C and operating on a linear expectation that it's impossible, that we simply can't, it's too big for us to be a part of healing the all? So I might as well just keep doing what I'm doing, which is surviving, going through the motions, protecting me with a massive wall and a lot of skepticism, division, and fear. Or I can begin to practice in small moments and open myself up to get the glimpse that we've been created for far more than what many of us have been told. And it's time to open our hearts, the inner heart, to tap into that beautiful inner essence that knows you are exquisite and gorgeous and beautiful and amazing and magnificent. And beyond that, you are magnificence, beauty, greatness. You are light. You are love. So I hope that you will make space to reflect on how healing the me, when each of us do that, are collectively healing the we. Thank you so much for your time and space being with me today. Thank you for being exactly who you are. Thank you for being part of the beautiful we. Thank you for being beautiful soul.
Thank you, beautiful soul, for remembering who we are and for making time and space to be with us today. As you go forward on your journey to the known and unknown places, continue to listen to your inner heart and honor your soul, because your answers are always within you. Please consider supporting us in spreading more light and love with this message by simply liking the video below, subscribing, and consider sharing as well. Most of all, take gentle care and breathe. We see you. We thank you, beautiful soul.